There we go. Hey, darn security. Can't never have too much of that, right? Yep. Yeah, usually we just pass out our stream link and then, we log right into that. I've been having some troubles with Facebook. People hack my account and I have to change my password every now and then. They let too many hackers screw around over there, so not too happy with them right now, but anyway, yeah. So can you hear me okay? Great, great. Yeah. Yeah, I like to get the links ahead of time because you never know, things pop up. But anyway, we got through it. So my name's Larry Azevedo. What's your name? Well, nice to meet you, Anthony. Yep, absolutely. Looks like we got a lot of issues going on with the criminal justice system. Not only for the go ahead. Correct. Yes, sir. And I wanted to get basically. I read all the issues. I want to get close as I can to the heart of the issues, and by doing that is to get in a hold of people like you. You hear all kinds of stories out there, but until you meet people face to face, because you're in the business, it looks like you got your head on straight and you know what you're talking about and you're pretty serious about what you're doing. So that's where I need to focus most on, because you see a lot of stuff online and this and that. I'm going to cut straight to it, get to the people that work with these kind of issues, and hear what they got to say about it, and then the things I got to say about it, and we'll see where we're at, and we need to go in a direction for the greater good for the whole system itself as we move forward. Well, I have some friends, that work in these correctional institutions throughout California, and there's a lot of complaints. The number one is the poor benefits, poor staffing, and the low pay, stress. That's some of the top reasons that they quit. But the main thing is, one, the current administration is not really doing anything to fix these issues. Okay. And two, and when these issues happen, it puts those guards' lives in jeopardy because either they're understaffed or they're just so stressed out they become vulnerable. And those are the complaints that are out here. And I just wanted to touch base with you. Is this some type of trend? Do you see this in some areas and some areas not? What's your take on the matter? Okay, right, 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 correct. Right. Yes. Right. Absolutely. So sounds like there's a big disconnect between the legislative body and then your because you got leaders over you and the people that's been there for years, the correctional institutions themselves. It seems like they're not working with one another, and that hurts your evolution, and that keeps it from happening, which it affects everybody within that industry. Right. Yep. Yep. Hello. Right. 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 Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So probably like a interagency council, it sounds like we probably need to put together. You know what I mean? That way, yeah. Yeah, that's what it's yeah. Correct. Right. No. It's about saving people's lives, getting them rehabilitated. Let's not get off of that. I hear you about the staff, but it's the next part exactly. It's the rehabilitation. I look at some of these numbers. There's just a little over half of the people working in there. I'd like to see that number grow, and also maybe even pay them a little more. They're not getting paid very much, and the reason why is a lot of them's got loved ones at home, or a family member or a child, and the child or the parent or whoever's left behind, it really wasn't their fault. These people made a mistake, and they're being rehabilitated. They're paying for it, and from a taxpayer's point of view, and the taxpayers are having to carry the burden along with this single child at home. Okay, and they're paid very little inside there to do work, and right now they're not benefiting anything. So that child is more than likely it's going to be on welfare, and it's almost nothing. It's hard to live on that, and the chances of that child getting anywhere just hampers and adds to their problems. So yes, Yes, but due to the conditions they're at, and you have the correctional officers there, what I'm getting at is, of course, you could put procedures in place. Well, why can't they earn the money and put it in a bank account and save it for when they get out? Of course, we'll put limitations of what they can do with it, why they're in there being rehabilitated. Why keep them from helping a family member or a child under 18? We could put proposed guidelines, because right now, let me fit the corporations. There's lots of large corporations getting services done through them, and they're getting services done for almost nothing. So the taxpayer's not benefiting. The family members or the inmates or the correctional guard, they're not being the only ones benefiting is corporations. They're getting services and products made for almost nothing. And the taxpayers is having to carry that whole bill. So, right. Right. Well, it would be their money. They earned it, and just like if you're on the outside, we earn our money. How we spend it, how we pay, if we pay for our home or we don't, or our car. It's the same thing. So, you know, I just I just think that we're not. It's yes, yes, no, yes, yes. Yeah, but a percentage of that, but if you do it upright, a percentage of their wages will go for their room and board. They will be given, there will be a percentage. They ain't going to just get the whole check and spend it and live there for free. There's more to it. There's more to it. They'll have to pay back into the system. That way they're paying the fair share. You're not putting it all on the taxpayers. That's my main goal. See, it's just like they attach your check, just like out here. If you owe child support, guess what? It's going to be attached. Or if you owe bills or you owe fines, you're going to get attached. Or you got a speeding ticket. You got same problems out here. They attach your check. You got to pay for your way forward. So that goes the same way in there. They'll have to pay their way forward. If this goes through, most of it will be paid back into the system. They'll have very little to spend wherever they choose to spend it. But anyway, uh, we could disagree on that a little bit because a lot of times it goes and it's not when the funds are handed out like that. It's just this way when they went for you guys trying to evolutionize and there's a big disconnect. So anyway, that's criminal justice. There's a lot of things wrong with it, and I see eye to eye with a lot of things you said, and I disagree with some of the things you said. I mean, that's what it's all about. I'm trying to go up through the middle here. You don't try not to pick one side or the other. Right. Right. Well, not if guidelines, principles. Yeah, they're getting out dead broke, and a job that they don't want, and the people, corporations are being paid all these cents, $2,500 for each inmate, and they don't want to work there. They're still getting all the cutbacks. Corporations are winning. These people, and over 65% of them are on drugs and locked up. If you look at the percentage of the ones that murdered, done the real hard crimes, those are a lot small numbers. These people belong in rehab. They do not belong in prison. You got over half that prison population locked up. They don't belong in prison. The system, the system's taking advantage of them, and there has to, yeah, yes, I'm listening. Yes, absolutely, right. Right, 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 right. Yep, right. Well, yeah, yes. When there's like crimes, for hard crimes, armed robbery, I get it, or they violently hurt people. It's absolutely, but it's more on absolutely. Well, that's a lot of leading factor. Well, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. They just it's because sometimes, like you said, you hit it spot on. When they get in there, they got their own groups and cliques that they just join back into the drug activity. So they're really not leaving that element. They're going from the street element into your element, And like you said, they're slick. They get back in there, and you guys do everything you can, but they still seem to get their hands on the stuff because they're that dedicated. And what it is, we're not fixing the problem. So you're actually, they'll serve their time. So you're actually releasing druggies back onto the street after they serve their time. Well, yeah, you are because the prison's polluted with violence and drugs. So you're actually, they've served a bit of time and you're being released. You're releasing druggies back into the population because of the way they're set up. They need to, right, right, right. Uh huh. Mm hmm. Okay. Right, right. Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. Well, you could even set it up if they want that living wage, you got to stay drug free. That would influence a lot of them. Hey, you're going to get a good wage. Stay off drugs. Get yourself cleaned up. So, but hey, that's how things work. Instead of just say, oh, let the community do it. No, you gotta put things in there for them to make the choice. Just like if you're out here, if you go a dirty drug test, you're gonna get fired. You ain't gonna have a job. You see what I'm saying? And they probably do that in there too. But I'm just saying, they're instead of just saying no, let's just leave. I hear what you're saying. I get it. But instead of just saying no, let's just leave it like this and be done with them, you can't. You're in the rehabilitation business. You can't just say, okay, let's just leave it in the community and leave it at that. It's not good enough. That's not good enough. We have to evolve, just like the correction guards are evolving. You have to involve the inmates as well. Well, right. Yeah, but no, nobody said you said that. No, no. We're just talking. Okay. No, because you said no. No, okay, listen, that's what you said. You said let the community deal with it. Why do that when you guys are dealing with it right now? So I mean, you're just shifting it from yes, 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 yes. That's right. Correct. Yes, but you guys hold a lot of influence to go to the government, the leadership, and say, "Hey, look, this is what we need to evolve, and this is what." Well, I know that. Yes, yes, that. Absolutely. Well, they could have that put up. They make their own resources and have it put up in a trust or a savings bond account. There is, you see what I mean? You can't always depend on the community. There's a lot of effort, community efforts out there that don't work. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. When you put the money in the community, they either underfunded or it goes south on them. It does. It's in other words, the stuff that's there is not working. If you look at the statistics, yes, 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 they do. What I'm saying, yes. No, if you just like if you're on Social Security, disability, or trust fund, you have a payee. You have somebody watch over you. See, for yes, yes, absolutely for people. So you could get these groups for the disabled or for the mentally or whatever. I'm just saying that what I'm looking at the corporations out there and the programs that are there, their best interest at heart is really not for the inmate. That's basically the point I'm trying to say. What the, yes, yeah, well, well, right, correct, absolutely. No, you remove the way they have it set up, not the corporations, the way they have it incentivized to favor corporations. It's not really incentivized to favor the party that needs the help the most. Right. Well, no, but that's why you have payees. That's why you have yes, absolutely, absolutely. Right. But anyway, it's that's just where it's at. It's all about debate and where it's going and evolve. But anyway, I hear you. Go ahead. Right. Absolutely. Well, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's right. Right. Yes. Trying to work, trying to hear both sides. You know, I'm just, these are offers and ideas. It's nothing in writing. It's nothing in cement. We're just saying that we have to go somewhere. We have to evolve together because nothing happens alone. And everybody has said, even you guys are scared of something new, especially when you're not directly involved in it. Like they make all these changes, like you said earlier, and then you guys are expected to carry them out on the front line, and they don't work because you weren't involved in the creation part of it. So, so yes, so these inner council agencies need to be put together for the correctional officers as well as the inmates and have a debate. Okay, what and then have a challenge window. What kind of systems could we create in the future to evolve in this direction or in that direction for either side of the matter? Because it's just talking and debating, and then have a challenge or a contest from the institution to institution. Because these inmates, nothing but the good ones that trying to do better and trying to rehabilitate, got off drugs. They're getting their head straight because there is a percentage of them in there. They're not all going to stay, screwed up. Some of them really truly want to change their lives, and mostly if their kids stay involved with them and they got family and loved ones home, that kind of helps them, believe and keep moving forward. In some of those, because if you could save a person's life at the end of the day, then we're doing our job. And then that can escalate. And if you make it a better place to work, then we're doing our job. That's the whole idea. It's all about debate and trying to make it a better place for everybody. There's a lot of things on the table. There's no question about it. And there's a lot of different ideas. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yes, correct. That's why it's so important to have those educated inmates, the ones that are educated, the ones that have been reformed, the ones that are off drugs, to put these councils together, these interagency councils, and work together. Just like in college, they got different organization groups that go and do different things. You put those things together and they start to work on ideas and let these good inmates that have been reformed, they're off drugs, work with these community people and say, all right, how can we better improve this area? How can we better improve that area? That's kind of where we're at, would you say? Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's why I'm having an interview with you today. That's why I've scrolled across Streamer. That's why I picked you out. I knew it would be heated. I knew it'd be controversial, but we have to have that. I don't have all the right answers. I'm just trying to search, and I'm not a true professional of it. I just see and pick up and read what I've known and what I see and what I hear, and then you got to get out and debate this and talk about things and see where we can come up with these solutions, right? Because that's how things move forward. Because otherwise, it stays the same, right? Just like the problems you guys are having. You want to evolutionize, but the leaders aren't with you. So anyway, right, right. You got to be open minded. And there's open minded, and there's going to be setbacks, and any plan's never going to be perfect. You're always going to have to tweak it. You're always going to have to adjust it. But too harsh, right? Yeah, it's like the bridge went out, and you can't get from the other side of the road because the gap's too big, and they don't understand how to get across that. Is there another trail? Is there another way over? Or we got to wait for them to build a bridge? Absolutely. And a lot of this you see on the media out there. You see them arguing back and forth, the main leaders and impeaching court trials, and it's just a bunch of chaos. It's just a bunch of noise out there. Why these problems? And this is just one of many. I got 20 different policies. We got education, we got infrastructure, we got trade, we got all kinds of other problems. These are important too. But I'm trying to touch base on different policies and get the professionals in those areas have heart to heart talks like we are now and get a better understanding that if the people did elect me, I would be in a better position. Say, all right, I've talked to these professionals. I've heard their complaints. I hear and see the direction they want to go in. And so that makes good connection. See? So we need people basically like you, like exactly what you're doing, up in a higher level of authority to help actually implement and influence change. That way it starts to affect the front line and they start to see the changes down the line. That's good. Absolutely. That's what it takes. Yep. Right. Correct. Absolutely. What do you mean? Well, I could do, yeah, I grew up hard. My mom raised me, came up hard, went to school, got an auto diesel associate's degree, came back, bought some old fertilizer trucks, bought one truck, started spread manure for the farmers. They bought another truck and bought another truck. So we got a fleet of fertilizer trucks, go around spread manure for the farmers. And then from there, started buying old beat up homes. So I started go fixing up the homes of community and renting them out. So we do a lot of that. And now we got a crew that takes care of that. So now, and I always told myself, ever since 9/11, how could such a terrible thing happen to us? So that got me inspired into getting into politics and how our government really works and what caused it, what were some of the issues, and what could we do to keep it from happening again. So I promised myself, my family, my friends, and community that if I ever got into a position to run and do this and learned enough about our government to get out and become a presidential candidate, then I would. So basically, that's where I'm at in life right now. You know, if you're not in the fight, you can't win. Of course, I'm an underdog. I'm way outfunded by those billionaires. Okay. I might have a million or so, but that's it. And you know, the cost of media is hard. So I just got a bunch of social media sites and now I'm StreamYard and I'm doing interviews for people, just getting the word out here. You know, I got my policies, I got my website up, asavitaforpresident.com. You can go to the speeches section, scroll past the videos, and you can see my policies. I wrote 20 of them. I wrote those myself. I don't have speechwriters. I wrote that all myself. It took me months to write this. It took me over 20 years to learn all these things about our government. I'm not a professional on all of them, but I understand how each and every one work, and I'm familiar with the problems that they have. So that's where we're at right now. So just getting it out there, letting people know, hey, there's another way forward, and you see what the current leadership is, and you see the current conditions, and they're not really advancing our causes in our different areas. So there's always a there's always a you know better hope for someone else, someone that's truly involved, has a passion to do it, pays attention to the problems, and really truly wants to help the people. So I'm like a people's person, you know. Like we went our rentals, we rent cheaper than anybody else. Rent sky high out here, but you know what? We rent $100 to $200 cheaper than anybody else. That keeps good renters in there. They take care of your rentals. They don't complain a lot, and they're happy to have an affordable place to live. Okay, so we work with the community, we work with the people, and we also work with our farmers. Make sure the trucks are tuned up. We make sure they get the things they need. That way, they can get their crops planted. I'm a people person. I like to tackle problems, and if you got a problem, we go and take care of it. If the neighbor, has a problem with his lawnmower or something, he could use mine, or I'm a mechanic. I'll help him fix it. I like to tackle problems. I like to take them on head on, and I like to work with people. I like to argue with people on some things, and sometimes I might be wrong. Okay, just like a couple of times through this interview, I probably might have said the wrong thing and said that you said this, and I'll be the first one to admit it. I don't have all the right answers, and I'm not trying to give you a. I'm not trying to say these are Democrat policies. These are Republican policies. These are independent policies. I think these are people policies and problems. That's the policies I wrote. That's the biggest message. I'm not trying to go lean extremely hard left or extremely hard right. Trying to sweep somewhere in the middle and do the best I can with what I got. And I, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's a shame that you left out. You know, I'd like to do another interview in the future, maybe a month or two down the road, just to touch base on you. If I come across some ideas or something, I'll hit you up and see what's going on. I've been doing a lot of different interviews. Did on Global TV and radio this morning, and I'm Dr. Loren Michaels. He's big. I got another TV interview coming up, so I'm starting to get out there. I appreciate that, Anthony. I really do. And I'm really trying to do my best here and trying to provide a better way forward for all of us. Absolutely. Supposed to help one another. Help one another. Absolutely. I will do that. I will do that. Better believe I'm gonna hold you to it. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I guess we better wrap things up, huh? Y- Yeah. You know what I mean? You have any more questions? So basically you went up through the system then. You like you said, you was a correctional officer. What got you involved? Was it your parents? I just want to know a little bit about your childhood real quick. And so what was your big start? Uh-huh. Okay. Huh. Right. Yep. Dedicated lifelong. That's good. You dedicated your life to a very good cause. Very good cause. You have. Yeah, I nicknamed you the warden. I was telling my wife, I got an interview with the warden. I was showing her. What are you talking about? I said, yeah, this guy, he's really knows his stuff about criminal justice. I can't wait to talk to him. I says, yeah, I'm going to be talking to the warden soon. And that's funny because you just mentioned that you were, you just mentioned something about a warden. Absolutely. Right. Right. Absolutely. Right. That's right. You better believe it. You better believe it. Yep. You're spot on. No, that's why I want it. You don't never want everybody to agree on something. That's bad. You know what I mean? Because there's always room because you never evolve. You see what I mean? You, you never evolve. It becomes right flatlined. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely, Anthony. Yep. You never know. If I win, you just might get a better position. You never know. You just, I mean, because we need people like you to evolve to help tackle some of these issues. You see what I mean? So you never know what happens. If I get in there, I'll have the power to do that because then you could start make changes. Right? I mean, you passion, your drive. That's why you dedicated your life to make things better for yourselves and others within the industry. Right. Absolutely. Right. Great. Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot. All right, I think that's about it. Any questions you got? Okie doke. Sounds good. Right, right. Don't say what. Don't change. Don't manipulate what you said. Right. So, don't. I won't look at to use your name. If I'll just say that it came from a reputable source. You see what I mean? I mean, or I could use your exact words and mention your name. Is that what you're saying? I got permission to do that? Right. Yeah. Right. 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 Yeah. Right. 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 No, you're right. What you're saying. It's just that that's why there's contracts. That's why people have a stake. They have wills. There is legal proceedings that could be drawn up, and contracts that can be put together for 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 rehabilitated people that truly want to better their lives. So there's and we can be part of this, and they can be part of this. Absolutely. Uh huh. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Talks about some medical and the procedures, right? You know what I mean? Because the resources, absolutely. Because I was working on healthcare as well. We need affordable healthcare clinics in those darn emergency rooms because every time after 5 o'clock, most of the clinics close around here. Where you can get affordable healthcare, and the only places open is dang hospital. So a lot of emergency room visits that drives up our healthcare costs. And a lot of football teams, when's football practice? Well, that's after school. So you got all these schools across America basically practice football, soccer, baseball, and all these things after school. And that's when our clinics close down. That's when your affordable healthcare they close. So now you got all these emergency rooms, all these families, all these people playing sports having to go to the emergency room to pay twice, double, three times it for a sprained ankle or an X-ray or something. That's ridiculous. But anyway, that's a different. You know what I mean? I don't know. Did we? But no. What's wrong with an uh, in-house affordable health care? They go to ER. Okay, well, this is not emergency. Okay, this you go to the affordable health clinic. There's already doctors and nurses on duty. You just go down to a different room. That way, the cost will be cut in half. You see what I mean? You still might have to wait a little bit, but you'll be saving money. And the facilities are already there. The doctors and nurses are already there. Why not? See? Right. Yeah. Right. And see, a lot of times you can't just throw money at problems because sometimes when you throw money at problems, it really don't work. It adds to the chaos and corruption. We need to throw solutions. See what I mean? So, like I said, it ain't going to cost the hospitals anymore because they're already on duty. You might have to put on an extra nurse or doctor. The facility's already there. They might clear out a room, but there's always an option there. You see what I mean? Instead of having to go, or you could even extend the hours of the clinics. Why not keep them open till football practice is over? Okay. I don't know about your area. Do your clinics close in the daytime? They close at 5 or 6 in the evening, or do you have some 24-hour clinics? Or I don't know. No, really. Right. So, and then through the night, and a lot of babies too. A lot of babies have fevers. They teething and gumming, and they got a lot of babies in there. And there's just the fever, and there's always babies and worried mothers in there. But there's a lot of little things in there that we're spending basically millions and millions, probably billions of dollars with unnecessary. When we there's a different way forward. But anyway, okay. Right. 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 Yep. Exactly. The door slams, and that's the end of that. Absolutely. That's why I like doing the hot interviews. Some people they want to send me questions. I said that's fine, but I'd rather you put me on the spot, just like today. We didn't pre-interview. We didn't say exchange questions or anything. We just said, hey, you want to have this? We do this. We do it live and unfiltered. You know what I mean? Because that way we're not always you're gonna have an idea how something works and debate it, and you may have a direction you want to go in. Yeah, on me, my sites. I got well, I haven't shared. It's all right, no big deal. I got I got different sites. I haven't shared it yet, but I will. It's just you're live with me. It's a recording on StreamYard, basically. I thought you were live. I mean, oh, I could erase it if yeah. I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, I could erase it. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? No, I mean it's just a video where we're just talking. I mean, I don't have to edit it. I'm just recording it for mine and your pleasure. If you don't want me to share it, I won't share it. I'll give. No, I just share. This is it. Why? Yeah. What do you mean? Like you want to? No, I'm not going to chop it up. Why chop it up? It takes me more time because you know. I know, but if you tell me not to share it, I won't. I'll erase it straight up. No, absolutely. I think it needs to be out there. That way they can hear both sides of us and see how we kind of came and met at the end of the day and kind of trust one another. Now we want to work together. So if you want to just do your books one more time for me, please. Absolutely. Okay. Right. Yeah. Pretty thick. Yeah. Probably a lot of went into it. A lot went into that. I bet there's a lot of years of experience. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Sounds good. All right. You better believe it. I'll do that. All right. Take care. We'll see you, Anthony. Later. And that wraps it up. MIA. It's not what's made in America, it's what's missing in America. And that's the end of our broadcast, folks. Tune in next time. Azevedo out.